Hi, welcome to Yoga at the Library. We're going to do a nice balanced class today. We'll be up and down and up and down. We'll do a lot of leg strengthening and get a big all over stretch. So I hope you enjoy. We're going to begin down on our backs, on our mats. If you want to have a blanket, that is always a good option, but not necessary. Or a towel works fine, or just you and your mat on the floor. So we're just taking a moment to check in with our bodies on the floor in a horizontal position. Knees can be bent or out long on your mat. Noticing places where you feel heavy against the floor. Maybe any places where you feel tension, where you feel space. Taking a few deep breaths, and on your exhalations, letting yourself get nice and soft and heavy into the floor. This might be the first time you've been horizontal since you got up this morning, so noticing the effects of gravity throughout the day, the benefits of getting flat on the floor every once in a while. Taking a big deep breath in through the nose. And letting it out through the mouth. Another one like that, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Alrighty, let's take both legs long. And take the arms up tall overhead, stretching from the fingertips all the way down to the toes. And then we'll bend the left knee in, holding on to the left knee, letting the foot and the ankle be soft and just hang around and flop around in space. Holding onto that knee, we're going to make circles with the knee, circles into the left hip. Making big or little circles. Circles more to the outside of your body or more to the inside, whatever feels good to you. Checking out the range of motion of your left hip today. Go ahead and switch directions, noticing any place that you feel open and any place that you feel tight. Coming back into center. And we'll extend the left leg out long on the mat. For a moment, just noticing the difference between the left and the right sides. Hopefully noticing some space in that left hip after rolling it out a couple times that maybe isn't yet in the right hip. We'll bend the right knee in close. And hold on, relaxing the foot and the ankle and making circles. And these circles might be the same as your left side circles. They might be different. You might need bigger ones. You might need smaller. You might need more out to the right side or more in across the body. Go ahead and switch directions. Feeling out this right hip. the hip that tends to get tighter since we drive with our right side. Hugging the knee in one more time and then extending out long. Go ahead and stretch up overhead with the arms, stretching down with the toes. Big good morning stretch. And then we'll bend both knees, bringing the bottoms of the feet to the floor and bringing the arms down alongside of your body. We want the feet to be pretty close into the hips. The knees are bent at a pretty tight angle. The feet feel like they're hip width apart and parallel. And we'll press into the feet to lift the hips up on an inhale, opening up the fronts of the hips now, the hip flexors. Exhaling to lower on down. Adjusting your feet if you need to. We'll inhale, lift the hips and raise the arms up overhead. Then exhale to lower all the way down. Moving with your breath. Waking up the shoulders, waking up the back body. Taking 2 more lifts through your lower body. And on your next exhale, lowering all the way down. Adjusting your spine so you feel nice and flat against the floor, as flat as you can. We'll hug both knees in, lift the chin towards the knees, give your knees a nice hug. We'll rock and roll from side to side a couple times. And then we're gonna make our way up to seated. So we're rocking and rolling forward and back a couple times, getting up the momentum to come all the way up into a seated position. Up on your mat. So we've got the ankles crossed. If this is terrible, you can always sit on a firm pillow or a folded blanket or towel, taking a little bit of the angles out of the hips and the knees. However you are seated, whatever you are seated on, you're sitting up nice and tall, rooting evenly through both sit bones, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Maybe feeling stretches through the hips and the knees. Feeling the pressure of the ankles against the floor and the sides of the feet. We'll inhale, arms come out wide and all the way up. And exhale down to one side, reaching up and over. Inhaling up to center and exhaling down to the other side. Just moving with your breath. When you feel even, we'll switch to twists. So we're taking the one hand across to the opposite knee, one hand behind. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling, twisting through the whole spine. Inhaling up to center and exhaling down to the left. Inhaling to get tall and exhaling, twisting. Moving with your breath, inhaling, arms come up, and exhaling. Inhaling, arms come up, and exhaling. We'll do each side one more time. Inhaling to raise up the arms, Exhaling to twist. Inhaling, lifting. And exhaling to twist. We'll come back to center. And this time we'll bring the fingertips down in front of the shins. And they might just make it to the floor. That's all right. We're going to find a stretch here. So if you find a stretch with the fingertips to the floor, stay right there. Spine is nice and long. If you want a little deeper of a stretch, we can walk those fingertips forward with a straight spine till you feel like you can't go any farther. Fingers are as far out as they can go. Take a big deep breath in there. And on your exhale, fold on down. Relaxing down towards the floor. Breathing here on your exhalations, noticing how you get a little bit lower into the stretch, a little bit deeper into your hips. We'll make our way all the way back up. And we'll switch the ankles, so the opposite ankle's close. Reroot through the sit bones, sit up nice and tall. We'll take the arms out wide and all the way up. And on our exhale, we're bringing the fingertips down to the floor again. We can keep them right here, sitting up nice and tall. With a straight spine, we can walk the fingertips forward till we feel like we can't go any farther. Big deep breath in. And exhaling to round the spine, folding over this other leg. Noticing where you feel a stretch here. If you feel a stretch through the hips, one hip, the other hip, both. If you feel a stretch through the back, the lower back, the middle back, the back of your neck. Just observing where this stretch has found to show itself in your body. We'll make our way all the way back up. Bringing the palms together at the heart. We'll take a big deep breath in here. Exhaling, pressing the palms forward, rounding the spine. Inhaling, hands come up. Exhaling, hands reach back. Maybe they can interlace. Inhaling to lift the hands and lift the chin, open the heart. And exhaling, hands come into the center. Deep breath in. Exhaling, palms press forward. Inhaling, palms up. Exhaling, hands reach back. Inhaling, lifting the hands, lifting the chin. And exhaling, hands come into the center. Deep breath in. Exhaling, rounding the spine, separating the shoulder blades. Inhaling, palms come up. Exhaling, hands reach back and interlace. Inhaling to open the heart. And exhale, hands come back into center. Alrighty, holding on to both knees, we're going to make big circles with the heart. Exploring the whole range of motion of the lower middle part of your body. Keeping one sit bone or the other down towards the floor, not necessarily pressing both down. And just feeling out your low back, feeling out the hip flexors. Switching directions. Noticing tight places, noticing sore or fatigued places. Coming back to center. Sitting up tall. Alrighty, we're gonna make our way to hands and knees. Tabletop position. So take a minute, uncrossing the legs, maybe straightening one out and then the other. Maybe swinging the feet from side to side, making your way into your tabletop. Maybe shaking a leg out one at a time. And here in tabletop, if you want to use your blanket underneath your knees, that's always a good option. If you want to fold your mat over to give your knees double cushion, that is also another good option. We want to come into a neutral tabletop first, so our gaze is down at the floor in between the fingertips. Those hands, the palms are right underneath the shoulders, knees are right underneath the hips. And we'll come into our cat and cow. So we're inhaling, lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, lifting the chin. Exhaling, rounding up through the back, tucking the tailbone and tucking the chin. Moving with your breath. Taking any forward, back, side to side movements that you need or that feel natural. Making our way back to that neutral spine. Recentering the knees, recentering those palms. Okay, we're going to try something that's very similar to cat and cow. It's going to be three-legged cat and cow. It's going to wake up the core quite a bit and warm up the hips some more. So we're going to bring the knees in closer to each other. We'll extend the right leg long behind us. And we're going to come into that same movement as cat and cow. So when we lift the tailbone and drop the belly, that heel is going to lift up. The chin lifts up. And on our exhale, we're curling in. So we're hugging the knee in towards the chest, rounding up through the spine. Inhaling, opening it up, lifting the heel, lifting the chin, dropping the belly. Exhaling, curling everything in nice and close. Inhaling one more time, extending the heel up, chin up, and exhaling to hug it in. Lowering the knee on down, we're going to come over to the other side. So we're extending the left leg out long, just level with the hips at first. Then on our inhale, we lift the heel, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhaling, pulling it through, curling in. Inhaling, coming on out. And exhaling, getting nice and small, curling into yourself. Inhaling, leg comes out long, heel lifts, chin lifts. And exhaling, getting nice and small. And we'll lower the knee on down. Let's go ahead and take the knees wide, sending the hips on back. And lower the forehead down towards the floor. Maybe not to the floor, maybe to fists. Maybe to a yoga block or a folded blanket or a pillow. Maybe just hanging towards the floor. Just finding your child's pose. Elbows can bend out to the sides to give those arms a little bit of a break. Your pose here. It's a really passive pose, letting gravity do all the work. Taking the focus inward, blocking out some of the noise. We'll extend the arms long on the mat, keeping the forehead low. We'll walk the hands over to the right, especially that left arm. Walking those fingertips as far as you can away from your shoulder. Getting a stretch through the left armpit, the left rib cage. Taking one full round of breath, noticing how the full lung on the left side helps you intensify the stretch. And we'll make our way back to center. Walking the hands over to the left, especially that right arm. Walks a little bit farther. Stretching through the whole right armpit, underarm, rib cage. And coming back into center. Alrighty, making our way into our tabletop again. Bringing the knees back underneath the hips. Rooting the hands nice and strong into the floor. We'll tuck the toes. We'll lift the knees and lift the hips to come on up into our first downward facing dog. We can alternate pressing one heel and then the other down into the floor. Stretching out the backs of the legs, especially after hanging out in that child's pose. Lifting up onto the tippy toes. And exhaling to press the heels down towards the floor. Inhaling tippy toes. And exhaling, heels press down. On your next inhale, shifting forward into your plank. So maybe the knees come down, you come into modified plank. Maybe the knees stay up and you're in a full plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale, shifting forward into your plank, knees up or down. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, this is the last one, shifting forward into our plank. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. We'll take a bend in both knees and walk the feet on up towards the hands, coming into a forward fold at the top of our mats. Hanging out here, hands do not need to make it down towards the floor. Little bend in the knees is good to protect those hamstrings and let them continue warming and opening up. Noticing how your exhalations allow you to get a little bit lower into your fold. The neck is released, the head is heavy. Shaking the head, no. Nodding, yes. Just letting the whole upper body be soft. We'll inhale, bringing the spine long and straight. And exhale, fold all the way down. Bending the knees and rolling one vertebrae at a time all the way up to stand. Nice and tall. So here we are standing on our mats. We're going to take our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. We still want them to be parallel. We're going to take some twists from side to side. So we're just spinning the upper body, letting the hands kind of bounce against your body, gradually finding just about the biggest twist you feel like taking today. We're not trying to take off or anything, we're just circulating some energy. And notice whether you like to keep your hips pointed forward, so then we're just spinning the upper body, or you like to swing all the way through from the knees upward. Even the feet get a little twist here. If that feels weird on your knees though, by all means, keep your legs stable and just swing the upper body. That whole isolation and stabilization of your lower legs and any body part really is a really good way to prevent injury, helping with body awareness. One of my favorite yoga benefits. And we'll slow down our swinging arms, coming back to just a standing position. Bringing the feet more hip width apart, back to parallel if they migrated. Standing nice and tall. Shoulders are dropping away from the ears. Neck has plenty of room. Fingertips can shine down towards the floor. The hips are pointed straight forward. The knees are pointed straight forward, so you might need to use some of those thigh muscles to rotate the knees straight forward. The feet are rooting down into the floor evenly from right to left. And we're breathing here. We'll bring the palms together at the heart. Taking a big deep breath in, arms come out and all the way up. Exhaling to fold and bow. Inhaling long flat spine. And exhaling all the way down. Inhaling, arms come out and up. And exhaling, hands come into the center. Inhaling, arms come out wide and up. Exhaling, fold and bow. Inhaling, long flat spine. And exhaling all the way down. Arms come out wide and all the way up. And exhaling, hands into the heart. All right, we're going to get into the legs here. So we're going to do 2 more sun salutations with a little modification. Arms come out and up on the inhale. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhaling for a long flat spine. Exhaling, folding all the way down. Inhaling, coming out and up. And as our hands come to the heart, we're going to sit back into our fierce pose, sending the hips back. We want to be able to see the big toes. Hands are to the heart. Spine is really, really long, so we're not sticking the booty out. We're not compressing the lower spine. We are lengthening the lower spine. Knees are the same distance apart as our feet. One more full rounded breath here. And on our inhale, we'll come out and up. Exhaling, hands into the heart. Inhaling, arms come out. Exhaling, fold and bow. Inhaling, nice and long spine. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, arms come out and up. And we're sitting down into our fierce pose one more time. Hands to the heart, spine is long, feet are rooted, knees are separated, just like the feet are. We'll come out and up. Hands come into the heart. Alrighty, if you are not at the top of your mat, go ahead and make your way to the top of your mat. And what we're going to do now, we're going to start just like a sun breath. Arms come out and up. Exhaling to fold and bow. Inhaling, nice long spine. Exhaling to fold forward. Bending the knees as much as you need to so your hands can come down to the floor. We're going to take a big step back with the right foot, like a big old step back. So we're coming down into a long, low lunge. Feeling a stretch through the right hip flexor. Feeling a stretch through the left hip. And here, let's see if we can lift the chin, look up towards the ceiling. So this extends a stretch all the way from the chin to the right knee. Here we're going to shift the hips back. So we're bending the right knee, straightening a little bit the left knee. Inhaling forward, straightening the back knee, bending the front knee, lifting the chin. Shifting the hips back, bending the back knee. Shifting the hips forward, bending the front knee. We'll do 2 more. Shifting back, bending the back knee. And this back knee can come down to the mat, or it can stay lifted off the mat the whole time. Alrighty. Let's take a giant step forward. In our forward fold, we're hanging out. Noticing the difference between the right leg and the left leg. Inhaling halfway to lift. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, arms come out and up. And exhale, hands into the heart. We'll do that same thing on the other side. Arms come out and up. Exhaling, fold and bow. Inhaling, long, flat spine. Exhaling all the way down. Bending the knees as much as you need to take the hands down. Stepping back with the left foot. Big, long step back. So we're getting into our low lunge. Chin lifts. Making a long line from the chin all the way to that left knee. Inhaling here, lengthening. And on the exhale, we're shifting the hips back, bending that back knee. Inhaling, shifting forward. Exhaling, shifting back, bending the back knee. Inhaling, lifting the chin, shifting forward. Exhaling on back. We got 1 more. Lifting the chin, lifting the heart. Exhaling, shifting back. And coming into a regular old lunge. Stepping forward with the left foot, hanging in our forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold all the way down. Inhaling, coming out wide and all the way up. And exhaling, hands coming into the heart. As if your legs aren't already warmed up enough, we're going to do 1 balance pose. So we're standing up tall on both feet. Let's go ahead and take the feet in close together. Inhaling to lift the heels up off the floor. Exhaling to lower them down. Inhaling to lift the heels up off the floor. And exhaling to lower them down. We can take the arms out as we lift the heels up. Depending on how confident, how balanced you feel, maybe you can take the arms all the way up and exhale to lower them down. Noticing all the crazy things your ankles and feet and lower legs do to keep you balanced here. It's pretty cool. One more of those, warming up the lower legs. And exhaling, coming all the way down. Alrighty, let's go ahead and make our way down to a seated position. Taking the bottoms of the feet to the floor. And we can take the hands behind us here. So we're getting into kind of a pretty comfortable, kind of like hanging out kind of position. And let's take the right ankle over the left knee. Coming into a figure 4 stretch here. So the closer your right ankle is to your face, the more intense of a stretch you're going to get. So if you need to reach the hands farther back, recline a little bit more, that's always an option. If you want to walk the hands closer, walk that left foot closer, and get a little tighter into your stretch, that's an option too. So find your figure 4 stretch. We're using the left foot and the hands against the floor, their position, to squeeze into this right hip. We can flex the right foot to intensify, to kind of activate the stretch here. Big deep breath in, especially to that right hip. And exhaling to uncross the ankle. Swinging the knees from side to side. Noticing a difference from the right hip to the left again. This time we'll cross the left ankle over the right. Adjusting the hands, bringing them farther or closer. Adjusting that right foot against the floor, however you need to bring the left foot just the right distance from your face here. Maybe flexing through the left ankle. Big deep breath in, especially into that left hip. And we'll uncross the legs. Sit up nice and tall through your spine. And we're going to take the legs a little bit wide. So we can take the knees bent here, or we can take the legs all the way straight, whatever feels best to you. We want to take the legs into a V shape. The feet are flexed. So the toes are pointing straight up towards the ceiling. If you have tight hamstrings like I do, bending the knees up off the floor might be just a great option for you. So we're sitting up nice and tall. The fingertips are down to the floor. We're going to take the fingertips over towards the right, taking one hand on each side of the right leg, and fold down towards that right leg. Feeling a stretch through the left side of the back. We'll inhale, coming back up to center. On over to the left, hands to either side of that left leg. Big deep breath in. And exhale to fold down towards the left leg. Feeling a stretch through the right side of the back. Making your way back up to center. Hands walk forward, and we're just hanging out in a forward fold here. This is the time when you can relax your feet. Let them splay out apart from one another. Let the legs relax. Let the spine relax. In Yin Yoga, this is called dragonfly pose. You might want to adjust the feet since you've been in this pose for a minute or two now. We could take the heels maybe a little bit farther apart from one another, just maybe. Coming on up. And we'll take easy seats or crossing the ankles. Sitting up nice and tall. Taking, let's see, doesn't really matter which one. Let's take the right hand across to the left knee. And we're going to reach up and over with the left hand. Looking up towards the ceiling. Noticing how the breath changes the sensations here. Coming up, back to center, releasing the arms. Taking the left hand across to the right knee. Switching ankles. Switching ankles. There we go. Then we take the left hand across to the right knee, reaching the right arm up and over. Looking up towards the ceiling. Big stretch through the right side of the back. And we'll inhale up to center and uncross those legs. We're going to make our way down onto the floor. Rolling, rolling, rolling slowly, one vertebrae at a time, down to the floor. We'll take the arms out in a T, the bottoms of the feet to the floor. And we're swinging the knees down to one side, up to center, and down to the other side. Giving us the sensation of rolling out those glute muscles. Twisting through the lower back, circulating some energy. When you feel even, making your way back to center, the bottoms of the feet to the floor and the knees bent. We'll take the right leg up towards the ceiling, and we can keep the arms out in a T, or we can hold on behind the right thigh, whatever feels best to you. And we're going to roll out the ankle. Go ahead and switch directions. We're drawing circles with the toes, rolling out that right ankle. We'll flex the foot and point the toes. Inhaling to flex and exhaling to point. One more time. Inhaling to flex and exhaling to point. Shaking out that leg. Bringing the right foot down to meet the left, noticing the difference between the feet. Extending the left leg up towards the ceiling. We can hold on behind the thigh or not. Rolling circles through your ankle. not rolling ankles through your circle. And we'll switch directions. Bringing the foot back to neutral, we'll inhale to flex and exhale to point. Inhaling, flexing, exhaling to point. One more. We'll shake out the leg and bend the knee, bringing the feet on down. Alrighty, let's go ahead and hug both knees in. So we're holding on to the knees. We did this at the very beginning of class. This time we're going to do both sides at the same time. So we're rolling circles through our hips at the same time. So it's almost like an upside down child's pose. Flowing. We'll switch directions. Bringing the knees together, rocking from side to side a couple times, massaging out the low back against the mat. It's obviously time for relaxation. Go ahead and take one leg out long. And then the other, extending the arms up overhead and stretching from the fingertips down to the toes. Maybe just resting here all the way extended for your final relaxation. Maybe bringing the arms down alongside your body. Maybe taking a bend in the knees, whatever feels best to your body today. Feeling nice and long. Feeling heavy into the floor. Noticing which parts of the feet are pressing into the floor. Taking whatever adjustments you need for those feet to feel symmetrical, and able to relax. The legs are soft, not gripping any position. The knees are soft. Feeling those big muscles in the thighs and the glutes, soft and heavy, pressing into the floor or hanging in space. Feeling the heaviness of the hip bones and the pelvic bones. The belly's soft. The spine is long. The shoulder blades are pressing flat into the floor. The heart is open. The arms are soft. The neck is long. The face is smooth. The head is heavy. Just breathing regularly here for a minute or two. Not dwelling for too long on any thought that might arise. Beginning to deepen the breath. Taking little movements with the fingers and the toes. Rolling out the wrists and the ankles. And when you're ready, bending both knees and rolling to lay on one side. And pressing on up into a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, rooting evenly through your sit bones. And we'll bring the hands together into the heart. Hopefully feeling some space through the shoulders, the hips, the spine. We'll close with our 3 deep breaths. Big deep breath in for the world, arms come out wide. Exhaling, hands into the heart. Big deep breath in for our community. Exhaling, hands come into the heart. And a big deep breath in for ourselves. Hands coming into center. Thank you so much. Namaste.